What's up, folks? It's Fozzy here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. I'm just going to move the mic up a little bit for you guys. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome into the video. We're going to be taking a look at another set of custom tactics. It's Monday. We do that every single Monday if you're new around here, just so you know that's what happens on Mondays. This is the Fozzy custom tactics upload. We're going to be covering the 3-1-4-2 today, so a slightly different 3 at the back variant. We'll dive into the in-depth of the formation in a second and sort of how it sets up and everything and what you guys need to know. But real quick, if you do enjoy the video, please do hit the thumbs up button. Just hit a like on the video. Helps me out, helps the algorithm. It's a great way to support the channel. And if you're new around here, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs along with getting the watch time up so we can get onto the YouTube partner program just to get some extra options on the channel. That'd be fantastic. So without any further ado, let's look at the team we used when finishing with this team. You can see already actually Darmian and Muriel have got their showdown upgrades. It was a 0-0 draw, so they both got a +1, which is quite good. This is the personnel we're using. Yes, we do have a fullback playing centre back. Can confirm there was no real issues at all, probably because of the work rates. We'll note real quick it is Darmian that switches in there. He has a 5-star weak foot, which is fantastic, along with the passing. So for a centre back, obviously I think he's 6 foot. He's got medium high, which is what I would think are the best centre back work rates. This year, high low is good as well, but medium high is really nice. You know, he's fast. He needs the anchor on him, so he's going to get 88 strength. And he's 6 foot, great at defending, nice dribbling, and good passing. So you kind of want a fullback that you can rely on to shift in. Alternatively, if you got that Zakaria headline or objective card, you can use him to like drop in a card like him to drop into centre back. So you do have options, and we're gonna have a dive into it now. So this was, if you watch the stream, we streamed over the weekend, by the way, guys. The links down below if you need that. We went back and forward on formations a lot. It was a tricky weekend. Because I'm aiming to try and find a good formation to test out for you guys. I don't want to bring the same 2 formations every single time. We finally landed on the 3-1-4-2, and it helped to like both elevate our game and then also just like bring a bit of like a sense of calm into it. It was really hard to describe. Like I switched into it midway through a game where I had 3 shots and the opponent had 9 shots. This was at halftime. At the end of the game, we had brought the game back and forced extra time, and I had 20 shots in total, so an extra 17 shots, and I think he had like 12. So it completely just flipped the script in the game, and we used it from then on out. So it looks a little bit nuts. This is actually the tactics. This isn't me hiding stuff that I'm going to change for you guys, so you can come in and screenshot this if you really want, but if you stick around for the instructions, that's greatly appreciated. So we're playing press after possession loss, which I've just become a huge fan of. Last year I really liked press on heavy touch, but it's awful this year. You can't use constant pressure all game because the stamina drains, and obviously like 3 balls you get ruined by. Don't like drop back, so really the options are run balanced or play press after possession. I like press after possession loss just to try and win the ball back and play aggressive. If you guys don't like that, you can't play balanced. It's perfectly fine. You just won't have that like sort of the press after you lose the ball. You won't have that pressing element. Like we're playing 35 width, and this is mainly because of the centre backs. So this is the first time this year I really tried a different width for the attack as opposed to the defense. So we don't really want to go any higher than the 35 width because we have 3 centre backs. Once we exceed that width, there'll be 2 stretched in the back line. And even before this meta sort of shifted to 3 balls now. So even beforehand, this was an issue. Now with the 3-ball meta, you want them to not be insanely narrow and stumbling on top of each other. But the 3 depth helps. The 35 width helps an absolute bunch here. Depth are going 80. This weekend I tried out 100 depth, 90, 80, 70, like a whole range. And I landed on 80 specifically for this formation. I need to put that back on press. 80 specifically for this formation. It just, because you've got 3 at the back and you've got a left mid and right mid, and you'll see how we set them up to have a bit of defensive support as well. I feel like 80 depth you can get away with, and I think if you play what's on right here and you find you're getting a little bit exposed to the back with how you play, just change it to balance and keep the depth high. Trust me, it can help so much in transition. We've changed from fast build up to long ball. This is really because you really had the option of long ball for people to make the big runs, or you could put it on forward runs. But I don't want the whole team making these darting forward runs, especially in this system, because you can very quickly end up playing like 3 at the back and then everyone just going forward. So we're going direct passing and long ball. So you'll see how the formation lines up. We can need some players to make a long ball run, and I'll have a clip as well in a second where you guys can see the sort of runs that do get made combined with the instructions. So it was a really nice combination. I think direct passing and balance are the two best chance creations you can use this year. I really like direct passing with how the team move, especially with a long ball or fast build up. So we're on a press after possession off the long ball, direct passing. We go 47 width on the offense, just to... I was trying something different out. I didn't want to keep a low width with how the team is, because it is quite stacked in the middle. You want to have people spread out. Players in box is 5 because we don't have a cam in this system, which you'll see, and that's why I hadn't tested it for so long. I was worried about the lack of a cam. And then free kicks and corners are 1 because, you know, if we ever need to rat it out, we can with a corner glitch. So this is the formation. It is a very weird formation because, my thing with 3 backs is I always want to have 1 defensive midfielder because I like having that support in front of the 3. What frustrates me is I think it's the 3-5-1-1. They added to FIFA 22 this year. They added it into career mode and stuff, but not into foot. I think having that formation where it's essentially what this team is right now, but rather than 2 strikers, you have a striker and a centre forward. But the system works really well with the DM. Obviously, you can see straight away you do lack a cam, and that can be an issue point for some people. Maybe you like the cam, but trust me, if you run the tactics and instructions we have, and I'll say straight away it clicked for me, but this might be a formation where you need to play maybe 3 or 4 games just to get an idea of how the centre mids work, because obviously you are trying to fill that gap for the cam. So just be aware of that. Don't play 1 game, and if you struggle, dismiss it. It will take a little bit of tweaking too. Probably 3 games, I say, on average for people. But once you get used to it, this is a fantastic formation to have in your arsenal. So you can see we've shifted Darmian into centre back. Delaney, one of the fullbacks, is going to play on the left mid spot. This is probably the best thing you can do. Don't feel the need to actually use 3 centre backs with then wing backs on top, and you really don't want to have 2 just wingers either. You do want 1 that can come back. The recommendation is start with 4 at the back and then put your most defensive, or like your what would be your best centre back player in centre back, and then let the other fullback just play as a right mid. So some options like Mendy can play left mid, Theo Hernandez can play left mid, like Spinazzola can play left mid. Like there's a lot of options for that over in the right mid side of things. Like people using that road to the knockout Traore card as right mid. So you have a lot of options, and as long as you have 1 winger and 1 fullback on the side, it will work. Instruction wise, I know this is a different formation, so I'm trying to detail a lot for you guys. Instruction wise, we have the keeper on balanced. I did try sweeper keeper and stuff this weekend. The formation wasn't working great, so I don't know how I didn't really pay much attention to that. I think the plan is when I get to play again, we'll try this formation with that applied. But the centre backs stay as they are, and so does the keeper. You don't want to change anything. Your CDM you want to have on cut passing lanes, cover centre, and stay back while attacking. Basically, you have 2 wide centre backs who can cover the wide space. Like I've got Causel there, who's the fastest and can play the ball, and then I've got Darmian, who's obviously a fullback, can play the ball. Or even Koulibaly in the middle is the bulky guy. This is almost like a perfect sort of trio to explain how to set it up, because Causel can play that wide role with a bit of pace fine, and then Darmian's obviously a fullback. He works nicely. The CDM is really just someone who I would say you don't want like a medium attacking high defensive player here. You want a box to box. You want a guy who's going to be on stay back and can defend, but if you ever manually pull him forward, he can do what's needed with the ball. So I'm trying to think of the Houssem Aouar could work here. Maybe not quite as good defending stats. That Modric card would actually be great here with the medium. Basically any player like that that's medium, high, that kind of thing, put them in here. The right centre mid is going to be your kind of box to box option. Now obviously Barella's on stay back. We are going to have Aouar on get forward. But he's on cover centre, so he's going to be getting forward, but we've not put anything on the boxes. He's just going to do balance runs for crosses, and that's because we want him to, although get forward, he's like the second most defensive midfielder we have in that little trio pack, so we want him to be able to come back and defend when needed. Meanwhile, Genoa is going to be get forward and get into the box for cross, because essentially what you want to do is you want to force these 2 guys forward to try and help get rid of the issue of not having a cam. But then, while Genoa runs into the box, Houssem Aouar will then either go into the box when needed to with AI, or he'll stay on the edge of the box and sort of help stop that gap form between like Barella and the rest of the team. So it worked really nicely. I'd say Genoa works well here. You can use the likes of Fekir here as well. Players like that who have physical. Even Felipe Anderson, who doesn't have great physical, he's medium with alright defensive work rates. I know you just showed the tactics there, but he could also play in Genoa's position. So you can use a winger with decent defense or physical, or a cam like that, or Salini, Fekir, players like that come to mind for what could play here. Now, in my case, and this is something you guys can't change, my case, my left back is come back on defense and come short. So Delaying for me, I don't want him necessarily getting behind all the time. I don't want him through on goal all the time, although he does get some opportunities in this system. I want him to come short and support Ginola and cause her for passes to help build up play. And then I also want him to be coming back on defense every time, because what that almost does is, if he drops in properly, I almost have a back four again of delaying Causa, Koulibaly and Darmian, and it works really, really nicely. Over in the right hand side though, we want to stay forward, cut inside, get in behind, and get into the box for cross. And this is really, because if you don't do this, this is where this formation can lack in build up. This just gives you an alternative outlet and lets the strikers play a little bit more freely. Essentially, with how it works, Felipe Anderson will almost play like a right forward, right striker position rather than the right mid all the time. And then that gives a bit of space for Muriel and Politano to move about, maybe drop that little bit in and almost replicate a cam. So it works really well. I have a clip right now that we'll put on screen. The Darmian's a centre back, so I need to make sure I don't put him out of position like that.
Up in the pressing department. Oh, great vision.
What a ball. What a ball, and what a goal. Absolutely stunning that was. And it's probably the best example I had of the sort of goals you can score. So obviously it's Ginola that picks up the ball, I'm pretty sure. It's Ginola that picks up the ball. And then it's just like, it's just an L1 and Y, so an L1 triangle pass over the top. Floated perfectly in Frampton, and that's because he had stayed forward, so he was in a good position, and he's cutting inside and getting behind, and then get into the box for cross. And obviously I think I tapped out one to get him on the run too, so really nice combination. Finally, for the strikers, Muriel is my main guy. He's target man, stay central and stay forward. We were testing target man this weekend. I didn't like it at the start, but I found for this system it works really, really well, because obviously you can have someone on target man, and regardless of how you play, it might not make much difference. But I found for build-up play, because you do lack the cam, the fact that Muriel's there to kind of like hold up the ball that little bit, and those are the sort of runs he makes, work nicely. And then we have just getting behind on Politano. So essentially your beefiest striker on target man, stay central, stay forward. Then your little pace merchant is on the getting behind. I did have Werner come on for Politano and play this system, and it worked really well. The only note I will make about Muriel is his long passing isn't fantastic. So if you can get a striker, or even like a strong centre forward who does have good long passing too, you will be absolutely flying with the system. Because sometimes I go to make the long pass through to Politano for a good run, and Muriel just didn't have the pass in him. So that's the 3-1-4-2. I absolutely love this. I will note, guys, I'm away this weekend and we won't get much time to play champs. We are going to have midweek streams, most likely Tuesday and Wednesday. I am going to continue to test this formation, because next Monday I want to upload updated versions of it. Very similar to what we did with the 4-1-2-1-2 not that long ago around Christmas. Essentially, this system worked really well for me, helped me get those extra wins. But what I want to do is see if I can get a little bit extra game time on it and make some tweaks, make it better. And in that video, I'll probably have a bit more gameplay on it for you guys, so you can see how it works. But that's the video for today. If you did enjoy it, guys, please do give a thumbs up. As I said at the start, it helps me, it helps the algorithm, it just helps support the channel. It's so appreciate it. And if you want to hit the subscribe button, I mean, just big thank you for that. We're trying to grow, as we say. The subscriber count has been going up, so just really big thank you for you guys for that. Thank you for the support in the channel, and we'll see you in the next video, which is probably going to be tomorrow. I have something slightly different planned. It might be a little bit like clickbaity, but there's a good reason behind it for what I'm going to detail in the video. So you'll see that tomorrow. Have a great one, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.